We are in NSORRA round 3. I get a really bad start. You can see I missed the start button, had to reposition my grip. Got quite far behind in the group here. It's super dusty. The track's fairly loose. It's on a sand and it's hard to see what's going on for footing. And so at this point I'm just trying to stay upright and get through this first section where it's really dusty. There's a few jumps, nothing major. I just kind of roll over them. It's hard to see. Looks like there was a little bunch up there. Something happened. I was able to get around one guy there. We enter into the woods after the track, and this is a new section here. And there's lots of little roots. It's hard to see, but they're super slippery here, and just had to be really gentle on the clutch and throttle controls to kind of finesse through there. Coming through this switchback near the was a brook there, but fun little flowy section here. There was a route here that you had to be careful on because it kind of shoved you down towards the bank there, so I wanted to make sure I didn't go down over. So this is my third intermediate A race. This would be a 2-hour race. It ended up being total time of 2 hours 17 minutes and a little bit of change. The longest race that I've done, it was longer lap times. I think my average was around 27 minutes, give or take. So I only had 5 laps total, so that definitely was a little more challenging where you just weren't over the same areas multiple times. So it was harder to kind of learn the lines and that sort of thing. So kept you on your toes quite a bit more. This point in the game, just trying to do my sighting lap. This is first time here on this track doing intermediate A, so I haven't been up on the upper side of the track here, and that was really the nature of why I wanted to try the intermediate A, was I wanted to see the whole loop, so that's what I worked on, trying to get out and being able to be somewhat competitive in the intermediate A. But really this first year of running the A, my main goal was just to kind of work on my endurance and pace and figuring out how I could maintain that for a longer period of time. So still a work in progress, but hopefully we'll get there. Really fun flowy sections at times. And we came up to this hill and Buddy must have lost his front end, and luckily there's enough room and there was a left line there and snuck by him there. Just something to keep in mind, certainly from then on, if there was different line options. Looked like a guy put her in the rhubarb there, must have came around, lost the rear end. There's this switchback hill here. It was kind of an interesting spot. Kind of bonked the side of the hill there and caused me to stall, but it didn't really cost me a whole lot of time. I was able to get it going pretty quick, but kind of a fun little switchback there. Kind of entering down in the woods here, and looks like somebody pulls over to slow down and let somebody pass and didn't realize the guy was right on him, so I was able to get by 2 people there at that point. Figure I'm sitting like the later half of the pack, I would say. Let that guy go by. He was carrying a pretty good pace. A lot of little roots here that I found really slippery. Just trying to kind of pick my way through and kind of scout out different lines and best approach, but this guy lets me go by here, and might have backfired for him here in a moment because I come down in here and I thought the trail went straight, but it didn't. I tried to make it and I didn't. It just turned to like this muskeg type stuff. It was super marshy, and tried to get over that log and ended up getting it high and dry. Front and rear tires weren't touching. It was caught on the foot pegs, and trying not to burn up too much energy trying to get out of this situation because we're just on the first lap and I knew it would be a long day, so just kind of...
No, it's okay. I just got stuck on this log. The road turned and...
Yeah. I followed you right in.
Sounds like he did end up following me in, so I ended up getting in a little deeper in the hole, but I think 5 or 6 guys passed me just in that one mess up there, so note to self, don't go the wrong way. It's not worth it, but anyway, live and learn. Came down into here and it was started out fairly ruddy and it just kept getting worse and worse, so I struggled with that a couple times, but certainly running in the mud's not my thing that I usually do. We get down to this downhill and the guy goes by me and I try to sneak up by the guy at the bottom and I hit a tree and put me off in, and it's hard to tell with the angle of the hill with the GoPro, but it's fairly steep incline there, and got off to the side and was able to side hill up out of there a little bit and get my momentum going again, but so I took the left line the first time. I tried the right the second one, and both are definitely manageable, so it was good to know that you could go either way if you had to. Come down to that switchback and looks like there's a bit of a situation up there. It was so tight you couldn't really easily get multiple bikes up there, so I kind of waited down below until I kind of had a clear line of sight and path there just in case. I didn't want to put myself in a situation. Did a little pivot around, but then I noticed there's somebody fell over there and 3 guys are on the landing there at the next pivot, so just kind of took an opportunity to rest for a second and get going again. Kind of it's a neat spot. Getting out on this little straight stretch and try to use that opportunity to get on the gas. I was able to get by someone, so worked out in my favor that time, which was helpful. Lots of these like switchback up down hills, so it's a lot of fun on the upper side of this track. I do have another video of a complete lap if you wanted to watch that. That's there, and I do have like a narrated longer version. Just on those slippery routes, just kind of push me off and make contact with the tree and just put me down. It's just super greasy. Coming down in here, the rut was starting to get a lot deeper, and I tipped over, but it was so deep that the bike actually stayed upright fairly well, so but definitely these ruts were challenging for me, and there was a lot of slippery roots underneath, so definitely got some room to work on those. I just tend to avoid mud altogether, so might be something I might need to practice a bit more. Coming through here, it was tight and I was just all out of sorts. I wasn't getting any flow, and then I caught a root and it just slid the front end. Just getting all jacked up, but caught back up to, I think this gentleman's in the 50 plus class, and he's definitely showing how it's done, because he made me work to catch back up to him. trying a new tire out this race. It was a VE33S, and it worked really well in a variety of the conditions here with the loose soil, sand, the roots and the ruts and mud. So it was overall, I really like that tire. I'll probably end up running it a bit more.
Thank you.
He let me go by, and I was able to kind of stretch my legs a little bit and cut into a little bit better of a pace through the next little bit. But looks like somebody struggled on that hill again. Luckily there was 2 lines up there, so I was able to take the right line and go up by. Could hear somebody off in the distance, so I'm like, there's something going on up there, so I didn't know if there was something to worry about around the corner, but it was all clear there. And looks like Buddy might have been having a hard time on the roots, and then probably just out of sheer exhaustion by the looks of things, he just stalled it and fell over. Coming on that motocross track and opened her up a little bit in 6th gear there for a quick second to clean herself out a bit. Anyway, I had a little love-hate relationship with the day today, but overall great course. Huge shout out to all the volunteers and everyone that makes these events happen. We couldn't do it without you, so do appreciate all the work everyone puts into this sport. And 2 hours 17 minutes 32 seconds final time, and I was physically and mentally done and glad it was over, but an awesome ride. Overall the bike's in one piece. I'm still standing, so that's all you can ask for. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I do have another video with a full lap and a longer version if you're interested to see that. But thanks for watching.